So I just wanted to remind you on that. Okay, so let's talk about what happened. So this is what I did. When Donald, I looked at his Twitter account. I don't know what time he went to the hospital or whatever it is. You guys know? Little Runmo is confused. What are you confused about? I don't even know what they're talking about either. They're talking about hair. Oh my god, I can't wait to read all this. I'm just going to keep talking, you guys. I'm just going to keep talking. Okay. You guys are so awesome. So, looking at forensic astrology, you're trying to look at past events and see what happened. So his very last tweet before he went to the hospital, he just went on, he just tweeted so much, just sounding paranoid. Lots of things to take in here. The sun was conjunct the midheaven. In Scorpio, 24 degrees. This is so significant because in Donald's natal chart, his midheaven, the highest point of the sun, what he aspires to be, is 24 degrees Taurus. So the sun is exactly opposite. It's at the lower heaven, the door of his ancestors. The sun was exactly opposite of that. The sun represents the president in a horoscope. It also, remember the can opener eclipse I talk about a lot? That was on July 16th. I called it the can opener eclipse because it was happening. The sun was at 24 degrees Cancer, in the 8th house of taxes, life, death. The moon, here we go again, in the 2nd house, at 24 degrees Capricorn. I called it a can opener because Donald's natal Saturn is 23 degrees Cancer. Venus, money, is 25 degrees Cancer. Saturn represents the block to his money. Nobody can ever look at his money. Well, this can opener eclipse at 24 degrees laid that energetic fault to open it up, and slowly but surely we would crack it open. This was such a brutal, these two eclipses were so hard on him. So the sun being at 24 degrees Scorpio pulled in all the energies from this full moon eclipse. On the ascendant, with that last week, was 1 degree Aquarius. So Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. Down here in the 3rd house, Uranus represents circulation. I see it with migraines. I see it, you want to think about like the 7th chakra, the top of your head, it's that laser insight, brilliant genius you get like with Einstein. It has a lot to do with the head. Donald's natal sun is conjunct Uranus. That's why he's just such a tornado all the time. But so the ascendant is now squaring Uranus, circulatory problems. So what's being activated is circulatory problems. Scorpio's rules are Mars and Pluto. Mars is over here in the 9th house, Putin's house, 28 degrees Libra. That was an exact opposition to the eclipse on January 21st, the one that I said ended his presidency, his inauguration. Here it is, 28 degrees Uranus in Aries. So So not only did the sun pull in this eclipse in the 24th, it pulled in this one that ends his presidency because of this Mars. So Mars is getting activated, Pluto is getting activated in the 12th house of secrets, hidden enemies. This also rules hospitals. And then the moon, as the co-ruler of this chart, is in the 6th house of health and doctors. So can you see all the stuff that's getting pulled in? Tweeting like a madman, anxious, nervous. His thoughts, Mercury retrograde, are all in Putin's house. The energy is all in Putin's house. It's all in Russia. I mean, if it was a panic attack, it was about Russia. So that was the last week before going to the hospital. Then I found out that at 2 p.m. he was supposed to have his intelligence briefing. Could this be a coincidence about what set him off? I don't even read those. So just looking at that schedule, though, then what happened at 2 p.m.? Well, here we have the ascendant, which is 19 degrees, Neptune, or Pisces, midway of Neptune in the 12th house, hidden. You know, Neptune can be it can be a very healing planet, but it can also be a planet that not only are things hidden, but it can represent toxins. It can represent just hidden problems overall with like the fluids, even the lymph of the body, and stuff just pooling, not circulating. So now you have the ascendant, what's giving life to this chart. It has Neptune right there. It's at the exact midpoint with Lilith, 21 degrees, which is squaring his sun and his moon. Lilith is like the dark side of the moon. It has to do with the woman scorned. Oh my gosh, that I just screaming that he is terrified of Pelosi. So now we've kind of got this nebulous, can't see what's going on. Now the sun and Mercury are in the 8th house of life and death. And now we have Jupiter here near the midheaven expanding things. And the moon now is on the cusp of it just moved into the 4th house. Whenever you see planets, see, this is why I think this is pretty serious at the time. When you have planets in the 12th, the 8th, and the 4th house, you often see, if there's going to be an emergency or a medical problem, you often see planets moving into these houses, just like the Jeffrey Epstein forensic teroscope I did. Like, I just remember once the one thug moved into the 4th, like things happened in these houses and then he was dead. So this was a real legit crisis. We have some nebulous thing, we're not sure what it has to do with. We have the heart, we have kind of like an arrhythmia, but the rhythms just aren't functioning. Something is just out of sync, and now it's being expanded here. There's just such real imbalance going on with the body. That was at 2 o'clock. Then Kelly O'Donnell tweeted at 3:42 p.m. in the White House, this, POTUS's health. So I assume, like, she needed some time to retweet this. But this is what was going on when that doctor was there. At the midheaven, the highest point of the chart, we now have Pluto and Saturn, these death planets, close to the midheaven. We have Mars over here, which still has activated Uranus from the prior eclipse. We still have the sun activating eclipses. We now have the moon, which is 15 degrees going into the 3rd house Donald is a Gemini, so this is touching his personal wellness. Now we have Venus, which rules circulation, the kidneys, the thyroid, is now in the 8th house of life or death. Mars, the action they're taking, they're getting a doctor. The 6th house rules doctors, hired professionals, health issues, medical. And just look at that square it's got to be. I mean, this was some serious stuff going on, and the fact that we haven't seen him kind of is validating that. I know that there's been a hypothesis about him using medical as an excuse to get out. Well, maybe he will, but there is definitely some scary stuff going on. And so that is just what I wanted to tell you. So if this hit him that hard, oh my gosh, that means these eclipses, I think that was a warning shot for him with his health, because now we have Mars has moved into Scorpio at 0 degrees. That is affecting his inauguration chart. And this January 21st total lunar blood moon eclipse, supermoon eclipse, this eclipse lasted 5 hours. It encompassed North America and South America. Whereas the eclipse on July 2nd, this only lasted like 5 minutes. But I always say this was the beginning of the end of Donald's presidency, because if you look here, the midheaven is 0 degrees Leo, the moon is 0 degrees Leo, and the sun is 0 degrees Aquarius, conjunct the lower heaven, our ancestors, our forefathers, the karma of the presidency. That was the beginning of the end of his presidency, because where is his inauguration? Right here. What do you see? The sun is 0 degrees Aquarius, conjunct the midheaven. That is why it's the beginning of the end. The sun represents the president in a horoscope. This thing, full moons are about revelations, and they're about endings. And this was conjunct the North Node. It is done. And now we have Mars at 0 degrees Scorpio. Yeah, before it gets done, before it goes to 1 degree Scorpio, this is what it's going to hit. It's going to hit his inauguration. It's going to hit the midheaven of this total lunar eclipse on January 21st. It's going to hit the moon. It's going to be opposite the sun. And then it's going to, where is it? That's the full moon. I want the new moon eclipse. Okay, where is it? New moon eclipse, July 2nd. Holy cow. This Mars is 0 degrees Leo, 31 minutes. Do you see what's happening here, you guys? I mean, he's so toast. 0 degrees, 34 minutes. So this Mars is going to be in direct square to this Mars. And then, like, minutes later, it's going to square the midheaven. And minutes after that, it is going to square the moon and the sun. And then, oh no, that's all the damage it's going to do in that degree. But then when it goes 1 degree, it's going to hit his ruler is Mercury. It was retrograde during this full moon. It's going to hit that. It's going to sextile this midheaven. It's going to be approaching the midpoint of this Mars-Mercury. It's going to do a lot of damage, because look at what happens. 4 degrees Leo. Mercury retrograde and Mars are conjunct. I mean, I don't know how he gets through the first 10 degrees of Leo. And now I know I said something similar to this on July 25th or so. Oh my gosh, you remember when he totally freaked out? that I want to follow up with too. It was July 25th or 26th when he just came unglued. That was weird. That was very, very weird. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 0 degrees. Okay. So anyway, I wanted to talk about that stuff with Donald. So, thank you, Marianne. Trump he's so done. And then they're going into these, they have no idea what's going to hit them today at the hearings. They've got the Galactic Center, women are taking over the world, and then they've they have Mars and Scorpio. Oh, God, you guys are so funny. So funny. So funny, you guys. Okay, let's check the transits. Where are we? We're here. You guys, we're here. The Galactic Center has arrived. Jupiter is 27 degrees, 7 minutes. We're here. Okay. I would like, I'm going to go step outside for just a couple of minutes because I want to go stand outside and just let the cosmos hit, even though I'm nowhere near, I mean, this, I don't believe Jupiter hasn't risen yet, but it's activating the heavens. And I just would like to encourage you all just to maybe take a moment, go step outside, go stand under the moonlight. I don't know if we have moon. Do we have moon? There should be some moon. Go look at that moon because the moon is at 22 degrees. Oh my God. The moon is 22 degrees. Leo, it is beaming a beautiful trine to Venus at 21 degrees. Said there is so much cosmic love radiating right now. Right now. So take 5 minutes. Get your robe on. I know it's cold, 1 degree Fahrenheit, or maybe it's really hot in Australia. Just go back. I'll be back. 5 minutes. I just want to, oh man, I should have made a flower essence. That's what I wanted to do. I was going to make a flower essence for this cosmic goodness. I can do that again. But 5 minutes. Oh, okay, I'm back. You guys go outside. Wasn't it great? T-Barb, foggy here as well, but the energy just felt so magical. Hi, Cynthia, welcome. Yeah, I got started really early because I knew I wouldn't get up in time, and my brain wouldn't work. So yeah, I could feel like just the energies coming into the palms of my hands, and I just stood there and basked. And this is gonna sound weird, but I just could feel like a flutter around my back, and I just felt like I sprouted angel wings. Not like Maleficent or anything like that, but just legit. Like I just felt such a connection with my higher self, I guess. It's like really kind of cool. They're really big and huge and light and airy and fluffy. I love it.